Hey, good morning. Como talifo? How are you? Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of a bajillion people. 18,000 something, almost 19,000. Isn't that cool? 19,000 foreign exchange traders. You know, it's not that common. Or is it? So as you guys know, I took my triple screen laptop to the BMW dealership yesterday, and two dudes came up to me and they're like, "Oh, are you trading Forex?" Uh-huh. "Oh, I did that for a while." Uh-huh. Anyways, I thought that was kind of interesting. Everybody loves Forex, but it's a tricky business, man. So how are you doing? How are things? Let me put up the poll for the day. What do you want me to cover today? Question mark. Euro, yen, euro, dollar, gold, Bitcoin. We'll do that. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Never mad at the fact he's corrupt like a senator. Hey, good morning. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but please, pretty please, stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hi, my name is Wayne. I am a currency trader just like you. I've been trading currencies for a very long time, and I'm still passionate about it. I still love it. It's intellectually challenging. And, well, it pays too much. That's cool. So anyways, those are two good things. And you don't have a boss. How cool is that? Best small business in the world, no accounts receivable, no accounts payable, instant gratification. Very cool. So anyways, thank you for being here. My goal is to teach you how to do technical and fundamental analysis to put together trade plans, so that you can take control of your trading. You cannot control the market, but you can control your behavior. And once you get that under control, maybe you'll have some consistency, and with consistency, you'll have confidence. There you go. So ask questions, get involved, take notes. Also, visit tradersway.com and open up a demo account. See these live streams every day? They don't cost you money, but they come with an obligation. There is a cost. Visit tradersway.com, open up a demo account. Why? Because I think one day you're going to find success. You will want an execution partner that actually trades, executes your real money trades, not just your demo account trades. And when you start trading real money, you're going to choose a broker, yes, on things like fair fees, fast execution speed, that brokers that actually pay you a swap. All that's good. But ultimately, it's going to come down to trust. They've earned my trust. They've earned my loyalty. They've earned my respect. So maybe that carries a little bit of weight. Maybe you want to give them a try as well. Tradersway.com. All right, there's the charts, yo. How nice is that? Okay, how nice is that? Dollar has weakened. Yen got strong. Interesting. They were kind of neutral in the Asian session. I don't know if you're trading the Asian session. Aussie went from strong and to stronger, and I'm on that one, so that's nice. I think I'm up 100 pips on that one. Kiwi is following its cousin. CAD is Oscar Mike, because oil is now at $70 a barrel. So commodity. Were we playing China? We were playing China. We want USD down, so that's good. And even though the Asian session was up, the European session was down and brought down the pig, the euro. So that's kind of where we are. And then yen is, strong because remember, it's a few weeks early before the yen weakens. So let's take a look at the poll. We have 38 votes. Do you want to get another vote in? Anyone else want to place a vote? That'd be cool. Shirag's chiming in from Kenya. Jumbo. All right, we're just going to end it with 39 votes. Manus is like, it's tricky. It's tricky. A song about Forex. Cool. So we're going to start with euro dollar. La-di-da-di-da-di. La-di-da-di, we likes to party. We don't cause trouble and we don't bother nobody cuz. All right, so here we are. I'm long at 146.83. No, what is this? I can't see it. 116.83. Okay? I'm long 116.83. Why? Because that's what the Wayne do. That's what the Wayne do. Okay. Mr. Sangam says, what will we do if America becomes a corrupt socialist country? Move to South Africa. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Forget that. All right. All right. So the question is why? Why? Well, there's a monthly pivot. There's a weekly pivot. Okay. And there's seasonality. Cool. So I caught a little up, down, gone. And my plan is, yo. Okay. That was not planned on the swing trading group. Which one? And by the way, check this out. I'm just testing some nonsense. And this is the part I don't like about a lot of people's EAs and stuff. It's like, look, you should buy it down. Look, you should buy it down. Look, you should buy it down. Oh, look, you should sell it up. I don't even know why it all disappeared. Right? Like wrong, late, right? Fine, wrong. Just, I don't know. So anyways, don't look at that. All right. I'm just testing it for MetaTraders. Okay. Cool, right? Cool beans, hua? Maybe get ourselves an inverse H&S. Where will bears sell? Now, okay, JK, the answer to that is always resistance. So, for example, oh, is that right, Meta? Well, I guess those guys are wrong. Okay. I'm a bear on the dollar, but anyways. So check that out. That's where a bear would sell. We know this is plan A and plan B. Plan A never got an op. Okay. Plan B, they took it, and now there's a battle between bulls and bears because now we know the second move. The second move for bulls is this area. Okay. And the first one obviously is here. So bulls are going to do this. Bears only had this one shot. Now you might argue maybe up here, the R1 and the confluence of this and a 786 and next week's whatever it is. Yeah, you can argue that too. Professor Alejandro Pentalando. No, sorry, dude. Nope. Okay. Yeah, could this create a double bottom? Yes, and I've explained it a million times. I don't know about a million. I've discussed it a couple dozen times that I would not be shocked if September does one of these dips, okay? And you get September up, September down, October up, okay? I've discussed it a lot. So, of course, I don't know, and I want this, but if I have to do this, I'm willing to do that, right? Yeah. Okay, but of course, what I prefer is that this is reversed, and that there's some form of this. Okay, that's what I prefer. I don't want a double bottom, but it might, and it could, and I may. Cool. Okay, so that's that. The oil. I want to do oil. Okay. Okay. Mohammed says, I have a different plan. Cool. Just make sure you execute it properly. Okay. To me, it's not about being right. It's about executing your trade the way you planned. That's what it's all about. So oil up. Take a look at Brenty. Okay. Brenty is on its way up. Now check this out. Okay. The last hour, or the last 4 hours of the third week, we ended here. The first 4 hours of the new week is here, and it went from M2, and the target should be $70.70. So because of that, WTI should be going up, CAD should be going up, and NOKI should be going up. Okay, and if WTI is going up, maybe even gold. Why? Because if oil goes up, inflation goes up. So again, central banks like the ECB, they don't seem to understand. They put free money out there, make interest rates negative, and then they expect inflation. I think if the ECB bought, 20% of the world's reserve of oil, energy prices would go through the roof and you'd have inflation. And then you can control it through supply. Right? But it's too late. They've spent trillions of euros and got nothing. If they would have listened to Uncle Wayne, maybe. So anyways, so that's cool, right? So now we go back and take a look at my WTI, and we got some up here, and you're like, but Wayne, you already knew that. Well, then let's take a look at something that maybe we're not watching as closely. Well, there's Kitty CAD. This is CAD getting strong. Okay. By the way, beauty. Okay. But how about now Kitty CAD? Not Kitty CAD, sorry, NOKI. Insert NOKI. Okay. And we go monthly. Okay. And it's starting to turn. Ooh. How nice. So if you think oil keeps going up, okay. Now, one of the things I discussed in the swing trading group last week was that oil supply globally is up. Oil demand globally is up, and there's 2.5 million barrels per day more demand than there is supply. We are drawing it down. There's more demand than there's supply. And I told you guys this last week. The funny thing is, I was listening to an interview with the head of commodities for Goldman Sachs, and he's like, demand is here, but supply is here. He's like, supply is high, but demand is higher, right? So anyways, he says oil's on its way back to a hundo. So anyways, there you go. Cool. I think maybe the head of commodities for Goldman Sachs is just listening to our webinar every day. Now, I got my information from IEA, I believe. Mr. Sangam says, why doesn't the ECB do that? Well, what I said back in the worst of the crisis, so a year and a half ago, I said China should bail out Europe by buying all the European stock markets and buying all European bonds to stabilize the European economy, and then the ECB buys oil to create inflation. Remember, oil is free, guys. Oil is free. Right? So that could have been something they tried. Speaking about free, okay, not long ago, we were talking, like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about VIX. And I said, hey, if you want free money, you should buy the VIX. How many people remember that? And I explained it this way. Volume, that's not spelled right. Anyways, volume in the summer was down. And that all traders will return. Okay? And again, I don't know, it'll start around the third week of August. How many people heard this? I also talked about it last year, the year before, and the year before that. How many people? Anybody? Manu says, right? Manus Goose says, yes. Anybody else? It's not that I made some wild and crazy prediction. I explained the situation in the moment, what I think will happen, and whether it was a predictable move or not. Yeah, Sophie's like every year, right? Just look at this. It went from 15 something to now 17 something. And it made it as high. Last week it was 21. So we went from 15 to 21. Okay, look at this. 2 weeks ago, 15 something. Then a week and a half later, we're at 22. Oh! Manus, it's Manus. Right on, man. You got a loud shirt on today? Not that you had a loud shirt on that night, but I like how humans signal. I think it's really interesting. Humans are humans, man. We're a really, we're complex, but we're simple. Like, I went to a festival the other day with food trucks, and they had food from all around the world, and that gets me excited. So I'm like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, eating all this food. And it reminds me of, like, there's a lot of food all throughout Asia that is really similar to food you find in Latin America. Well, you change a few things based on the local ingredients, but you go from, spring rolls to burritos. You go from, falafels to tacos and a bunch of other things. And I think, it's so interesting, we've had all this time as humans and we form all these cultures and all this kind of stuff, but there's something similar about pieces of barbecued meat wrapped in overcooked rice, which is then wrapped in banana leaves and cooked, versus some spicy cooked meat wrapped in ground corn, wrapped in corn husk and cooked. And I'm like, oh my God, they're the same thing. You could live in the jungles of Vietnam, right? Or you could live in the high plateaus of Mexico, and you're eating the same, basically the same thing. And I love it. So, anyways, we're so complex and we're so simple. But anyways, yeah. Then I looked at the Greek food truck and I'm like, I had halal just last week. There's no way this is going to be better. I'm not interested. So, anyways, all right, cool. Boom, 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 boom. So check it out, guys. I want you to write all this down. I want you to somehow remember, are these key turning points in the market? Are these key turning points in the market? Are these key turning points in the market? Was this a key turning point in the market? Now, a lot of, your first instinct is to say, well, yeah, because Wayne, you got this green zone, and Wayne, you got this green zone, and Wayne, you got this gray zone, and Wayne, you got this red zone. All of that is true, but also on the third week, on the third week, on the third week, on the third week. Now, maybe that's luck, or maybe that's something you might want to hold on to and say, wow, there's some sort of alpha there, right? There's some sort of alpha going on. Right? Okay. I mean, interesting, isn't it? Look at USD CAD go up. And then we hit our little turning point. By the way, check this out. That's the weekly target. You see, the lines are still there. Take profit at 129.24. Okay. Inside of what? The monthly target, which says get out at 128.95. Okay. So about a 30 pip window here between the monthly and the weekly. And what was what was the consequence? Pow! Oh my gosh, that's cool, isn't it? This is another example of why you should either be a bull or a bear. Because I don't expect you to catch all of these things. This is hard, where suddenly there's every reason in the world for up, and then suddenly every reason in the world to be down. You're like, how do you maintain direction and course? The wind keeps changing. Well, be one or the other. That's how you do it. Okay? Okay, I'm going to zip over to the yens, and then we'll go back to commodities because I didn't finish that. Okay. Amazing coincidence here, right? Okay, look how beautiful this top is. There's the bottom. Okay. The Aussie yen, odd yen. Okay. Right there, third week. Cool. At that time when I was teaching that trade setup, we were talking about how I don't care what moving averages you use or oscillators or really any technique, as long as you have a sense of how price action works. And then I threw down this alligator thing, which I don't know anything about, but you should be able to see it's crossed over. So if you've been selling this, you're not paying attention to the basics. Okay. Now the basics would tell you if you were going to sell, market conditions are dangerous, but you might consider it at this price. Okay. Price is okay. Okay. But how do we know time? Well, time is your technical pattern, right? What would you need to see? Oh, well, like a reversal pattern. Do you see a reversal pattern here? Do you see one? No. Okay. So now your plan B is up here. That's, again, it's the right price. Did you see a reversal pattern? You might have, depending on the time frame, and your time frame is based on your aggression. So maybe you did sell somewhere in here. All right, you might still be short, or you might have taken a small loss. Yeah, that's what we do. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, and that's that. Are we on the free and clear plan? No. No, we are not. But it's a very interesting beginning. The correct price and the correct time based on seasonality. Okay. No, I do not, Muhammad. Okay. The XL said those are very interesting if you're either a counter trend trader or trade very low time frames. Yeah, for sure. See, all your entries are going to be on small time frames. Okay? So like if you see this, okay, whether it's Friday or Monday, you're like, okay, I'm in a buying zone. It's counter trend, so I got to be careful. Okay? No, it's still doing it. Hang on, I guess it's this one. Okay, so now you're staring at this. Okay, these are 5-minute candles, and somewhere in there you are deciding whether you buy or not. Okay. So you're trying to do something like this, right? The thing is, a lot of people drop into the 5-minute chart and they're trying to make a decision because of the 5-minute chart. No, you've decided already on a high time frame that you're a buyer. So now you're looking for dips, okay? Now I've trained my swing trading group to be ready in this window here. So maybe you took it, maybe you didn't. Okay, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Okay. Aggression levels determine everything. Okay. So maybe you did the breakout pullback. Okay. Maybe you did the breakout pullback, breakout pullback, breakout pullback. Right? I mean, look at the ribbon. That's what the ribbon's doing. Up, in, right? Out, in, in. Okay? These are bigger trades because the market is set better, because now we're kind of into Monday Europe. See, earlier on, Europe was sleeping, right? So anyways, whatever. Yeah, whatever. You just got to get in the game. Okay, cool. Let's change this. La 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 la. La 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 la. Here we are. Okay, this was Asia Open. Okay. Okay. Seemed good for a bit, and now we're just back. Okay. Yeah, JK says, hey, I thought your stops are supposed to be, if you're short, behind R1. That is true, but I don't always wait for my short stops to be stopped out by the time I get out. Generally, I put it there because I'm not always watching the trades. But if I'm at my charts, my number one thing for exit is if my plan failed. Okay. So I might take a negative 12 pip stop if I feel like my plan has failed. And I'm like, why throw away the other pips? I'm like, my plan has failed. Remember, very often, like, plans are based on, you know, assumed, not just price and time, but like action. Like new traders will come in, or timing, right? Like the timing of this is terrible right? So I bought it here and went up, and then as soon as London opened, it came down hard. Well, how do I know it's not going to be down here at the end of London, right? So this is tricky because a bull is going to be thinking this. So if I'm down here, I could just bail a break even though my stop is way down here. And I'm like, well, my plan was this, this, this. As soon as that failed, you know what? Give me my money back. I'll come up with a new plan. Okay. AR, if I'm planning out pound yen, the plan is exactly the same on pound dollar. Okay. USD and JPY are funding currencies. So don't ask me to go from pound yen to pound dollar. Like, there wouldn't be anything different. Okay, I'm a macro trend trader. There won't be anything different. And if there is, I probably don't want to trade them. Okay, USD and JPY will both be the denominator with pound on top. Okay. So right now, this is neutral. And even though there might be a small, like, negative, let's say 10, I think it's more like break even, but let's say I have a negative 10 loss on this, I could exit for the negative 10. Remember, I'm not afraid of losses. I'm not ashamed of losses. So someone will say, well, that'll screw up your winning percentage. Yeah, I will have lots of tiny little losses, but the winners will be big. So yeah, I will be damned with big winners and small losers. Yeah. Yeah, that will be my curse. I'll have a lousy win rate. But I also won't be a very risky trader. So anyways, there's a thought process. And I don't like the fact that we're not playing this properly. Okay? I don't like that at all. Okay? Some might be, you might be thinking that I'm looking right here and saying this is the right price for tomorrow. That's not true, because this is good. I really wanted that, actually. So it might just be indicative of we're just not quite ready yet. And remember, in the back of my mind, based on seasonality, we're about 5 weeks early for the Japanese yen move. Okay. JK Market said, hey, sometimes you feel like your plan failed, but by the time you realize that the trade started to follow your plan. So how do you know? You just make a decision. Okay. How do you know? As soon as you decide, that's when you know. So, you got to train yourself to make the decisions. My number one concern is losing a lot of money. So as soon as I feel like it's not going my way, number one concern, get out of the market. What's the worst could happen? What's the worst that could happen? You lose a little bit of money. You're allowed to lose a little bit of money, but you're never allowed to lose a lot of money. So you're usually better off. Now, if you're talking about panic, well, I never said panic either. Okay, but anyways. All right, so let's try to figure this out. I have this drawn for you. Okay. How's it going? Okay. This was my part of what I just spoke about a few minutes ago about tracking oil prices as a leading indicator for inflation levels. And I get my information from the IEA and other sources. Now, this flash was quite unpredictable for gold, but rebuilding was not unpredictable. And now we're moving on up yet again to the next level. Are you taking this back to 2000 with the stop at 1950, or what? What are you doing here? Okay. Let's see. How do you do technical analysis? Buy. 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 Exit. Okay. Bye-bye. 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 Uh-oh. Okay. You're like, oh, but Wayne. Okay, let's change all of this. Okay. Maybe you find this helpful. I don't know. How about this? On the opening candle of the week, it went from exact support and now is hitting our conservative target. Maybe you should join the swing trading group. That's a weekly swing. Theta, if you need an alert, I don't think you're going to be successful. That's my opinion. Like if you can't even go to your charts Sunday at 5 p.m., you're like, no, I need no, look, I believe, and I'm not picking on you, by the way, but I am going to say something here. The discipline to me is very important. Okay. So I like to be at my charts. I like to look at the open. I like to listen to some news in the background. I like to pull up central banking websites and fart around. And one of the key points in the swing trading course and in the day trading course is be at your damn charts when you're supposed to. I don't care about the alarms. Maybe there's no trade there. Maybe there is a trade there. But the thing is, you got to sit down and do your job. I'm not asking for much, an hour a week. Sit down at that exact moment, and you should already have a trade plan, so it shouldn't be that complicated, right? So you're like, boom, somewhere in here, long and gone. And you're done for the entire week. And now you're crying because you're going to take profit. In fact, that is your profit. You might be getting out or you might hold this for longer. And now you have to switch over to a bigger trade like a position trade. Okay? But an alert, oh, I'm not going to go to my chart unless I get an alert. No, just that's a corner cutting thing. And again, I'm not picking on you, Theta. This is not a personal thing. This is an idea thing. I hate the idea of not wanting to do the work. I love the idea that I'm a currency trader and at 5 p.m. I'm at my charts. And I already have a plan. I already know what I want to see. And then I'm like, oh my God, that's it. Okay. Boom, gone. Okay. I love it that it's Tuesday and you've already hit your weekly target. I love it. That makes me happy. What's up, Sharif? There's the sheriff's in town. Right? Sharif is a tax collector, by the way. Well, JK Markets is like, so how do you, what do you do before you don't miss some trade up? Here's the secret. I'll say it again. Let's go this way. Hourly chart. On Friday, I decided I want to buy this between these two prices. Or maybe on Saturday. That's how I do it. I already know. I already know what I'm going to do. Then the market opens and I'm like, oh, for sure. Boom. Somewhere in there. Gone. Done. Okay. By this time, it's 10 p.m. my time and I'm going to bed. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, by the way, this giant green candle is the Shanghai Open. Okay? So you're like, gone. Did you know I was at my desk for 2.5 hours yesterday during this, actually, let me do this a little more closely. During this period. I'm working. This is daddy working. Okay. I was there when, well, this is weekly, but that's yesterday's Asia. So if we were to day trade this, okay. So we're talking in this period here is typically when I'm trading. Okay. And I'm a bull. So I got two things in my mind. Will it come back down to 1800? Well, then I'm going to have a big red candle in Asia. Or will it come down to the 21? Okay. Either way, I'm expecting red candles in Asia, which I will buy. Okay. Okay. Right on, El Pastor. Greg, you probably want to be a trader in Dubai, pay 0 taxes. Okay. And I think, if I recall correctly, London opens at 11 a.m., I think. So what you do is you get out of bed and you exercise, you do some yoga, and then you shower and everything, and then you go get yourself a latte, and then come back to your office. Now it's 9:45, maybe even 10 in the morning, and you're like, okay, well, I got to get my London trades open. So you open up your charts and you're like, oh, what did Asia do? And you find your levels of resistance and you find your levels of support. And you're like, okay, that's good. Now you're wide awake. You've had a latte and an energy drink. You've exercised. Everything's good. And now the markets start moving and you're hot to go, HOTTOGO. Epic. Epic. Okay. And then you mess around with the markets right around dinner time because that's the U.S. Open. But by then you're already in your trades. Okay. Right. So you're long here, guys. That's how you do it. Theta's like all year it's warm. Well, it's warm or it's hot. Is that right, Jason? Jay Christie's like, yeah, depending on time of year, but hey, man, that's all good, right? You have all morning to I don't know, do your chores. Bitcoin. Definitely warm. 45C is a lot of C. Was that right? You know, I was watching some Netflix 2 nights ago, and it was about Robert the Bruce, and I'm like, oh, I hate Robert the Bruce. So I'm like, I'll watch this thing. And I'm watching about an hour into it, and I'm like, wait, these people are half the actors are like, they're Irish. Netflix is like, I don't know, put those guys on the screen. I don't know. What the hell is the difference between an English accent, a Scottish accent and an Irish accent? Well, if they're supposed to be Scots, can't the Irish person fake a Scottish accent? Hi, there's a wee bit of difference between Irish and Scottish. Wait, there is a difference. Yeah, like this chick's the main character and she's Irish. Like, dude, why is she? Anyways, so I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh my God, get a Scot. For crying out loud. It's like when in Hollywood, you watch a movie about a gay person, they put a straight actor, and then in another movie, there's a straight actor played by a gay guy. Like, why can't you just, like, why does everybody have to be acting, right? So anyways, I always get funny like that. Like there's no gay actors in Hollywood. You're like, what? You can't get a gay actor to play Freddie Mercury? Like, really? So anyways. All right. Pachow, 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 pachow. Muhammad says, hey, this summer it was stupid. You could cook an egg on the car. Well, I have a black Porsche, and I'm telling you, even in Georgia, you could cook an egg on that thing. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, commodities, good. So anyways, lots of things are going my way right now, and I'm happy with that. Peso, kinda. If I put this hourly, it looks a little more top-ish. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is all right. And what I'm trying to do now, between now and next week, is really have the flow go this way. Okay, so what do we know? The end of the third week, top of the month. Okay, now what? The second part is down to the moving average, up, failure to make a higher high, so we call that a double top. The next part is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So I'm Oscar Mike on this. I have permission to engage. Breaching the 55 next, it's not really a target, but next level dynamic support is down there. I'm basically saying back to 20. But do you know how many times we've been at 20? Maybe 100 times. Okay. So, but the thing is, I was talking with a Mexican yesterday, and he's like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I buy and sell money. He's like, you mean like the dollar? And I'm like, no, like the peso. The peso? I'm like, it's at 20. Can you believe it? Yeah, I know it was 25, but it's too cheap. Even at 20, it's too cheap. It should be, what was it, 10 years ago? 8? Yeah. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, it should be back at 10. So yeah, I love the peso. And then I'm like, and the central bank website is great, and the interest is great. And he's like, I've never met anyone like you. No, nobody likes peso. I'm like, I love the peso. So anyways, I look at that and there's like, yeah, baby, because now I got seasonality. See, I didn't have seasonality here, although that was epic. Okay. But we might have it here. Okay. And we know the greatest day or the greatest time to be trading this is in this period here, right before or right after the new month. What? Alton and Robin's got it, huh? Robin and stealing pesos. That's cool, man. So this would be epic now. And remember, technical analysis would say that's highly improbable or improbable. That's highly improbable. There's nothing on this chart that would say lower than this. 19 and below. I know. You're right. There is nothing that says that. Right? What we're looking at is top and bottom here. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I totally do. And then you see this and it says, well, September high would be 2040. September low is going to be right about where our support is. And remember, that's not a coincidence. That's what the math is looking at. So if you can't see it, it will see it. But what the technical analysis doesn't say is, down, breakout, and then down in October. Will that happen? How the hell would I know? But it's going to be what I try to do, because I'm a man with a plan. Okay? Right? Because sometimes you feel like Face, sometimes you feel like Murdoch. I don't know how to spell that. Sometimes you feel like Mr. T. Okay. So anyways, that's my plan, right? I'm the guy with the cigar who says, I love a good plan. I love a good plan. Okay? And it's not based on what you see, because what people see is the consensus. But as a professional trader, I live outside of the consensus. That's not going to work either. Okay? Okay? So I'm watching the turn of events. So you have to decide now, is that top and is this lower high game on? It's the end of the month as we know it, and I buy peso. Yeah. All right. How about our friends in South Africa? Well, check this out. The August low is here, so we should have been about here, and this got really overbought. So we know at this period, dollar was very strong and rand was very weak. Okay? So you're going to have to now decide if you're going to be a buyer of this emerging market, under what conditions. And typically what a trader would do is look for the H&S. Okay? So it might take 2 weeks. Okay? Alton, is it 4B now? We went from 2.6 back to 4B. Yeah, that's a lot of peso. Cool. That's a lot of B. Huh? That's a lot of B. So anyways, what do you think? Are you in the game? Not in the game? What's going on? You got this? Okay. The other thing I've been preaching the last couple of weeks is this is it, guys. It's on. I hope you appreciate that. It was just here that I'm like, dude, game on. Look, dude, game on. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Dude, game on. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Summer's over. Shooting at rabbits is over. You got to be RWA. Game on. Class is over. Class dismissed. Time to go to work. How many people got that message in the last, 8 live streams? That you're like, game on. Get in the game, son. Put your helmet on. Get out on the field. And be ready, because someone's going to knock you over. Okay? Yeah? Remember, I went to New York because it was my last week I could go to New York. Because the next week, it was going to be game on. Like a switch, snap, like a crack of a whip, like the strike of lightning. An entirely different world. Look at the accuracy. So I'm reinforcing like, dude, are you in? Or is this the same as 2 weeks ago? Okay, look, the top of the market occurred when I was in New York City. No, it wasn't. No, that's way over here. No, that is the third week. I'm back. Right? No, I was in over here. So yeah, like this is just ridiculous perfect timing. Third week, man. Are you in the game? I'm a dollar bear. That means this is down. The others are up. Are you in? Don't miss it, please. And if you start getting winners like this, don't believe that it's the winner. Be prepared. It may not be the winner. I just need you to do your job epically well. It's not fun anymore. It's not games. It's not planning. We're not dreaming about the future. This is actually doing the hard work. Okay? Look at that. Higher high, higher low, gone. Okay? Okay? Gorgeous, right? Yeah, that's all good, Gregers. The thing is, Greg, and Greg's been around 50 years trading, right? My fear is that the newer traders, they can't discern or don't discern the difference between like early August and the end of August. It's all the same. Every day is the same. No, it's not. Right? And that very often, just for the newer people, let me explain what happens almost every year. Almost every year, I set up big yen and dollar moves based on macroeconomic analysis and central banking policy. But every year, there's something unique about what can help or hinder that move. And people, they're like, yes, it makes sense. I really understand what Wayne's doing. That really makes sense. And by the time we hit November, I'm like, see, look, you should be up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 pips on this trade, and 800 pips on that trade, and 500 pips on that trade, and 300 pips on this trade. And you're like, wait, what? And you just watched the whole thing and didn't actually do anything. Just watched it. And you're like, well, wait. And now you have to wait another year. And the worst thing is if you don't get it now, what happens is you start to try forcing trades in November and December, but it's way too late because professional traders around the third week of November to the third week of December, they're thinking about getting out. So if you're just thinking about maybe getting into the trend that's already 8, 9, 10 weeks old, dude, you're really late and you're assuming some pretty significant risk. Especially around the sensitivity of, Fed meetings and tapering, the beginning of tapering and stuff. There's a lot of reason why if you wait 8 weeks and then decide to trend trade, you've given up most of the meat on the bone. And now you're fighting junkyard dogs for the scrap. So just be careful. I'd rather you throw some ice cold water on yourself and get in the game. Okay? Have I made that clear? This is your wake-up call. Your destiny has already left, but there's time to catch up. Okay. Manus sells the lower high. Well, the interesting thing about big, fast moves is they never quite give you the pullback you want because everyone's already bought it. So you got to be very careful. Sometimes you can miss a lot of trades and say, well, I want to buy here, so it does this. Okay? That's tricky. So in an aggressive market, sometimes you have to be a little more aggressive. So you do things like, okay, here's the support, here's the pivot. Is there a midpoint psych level? Here's a midpoint psych level. Where's the moving average? So the moving average is down here. Where's tomorrow's pivot? Where's this? Where's that? Where's the fib? Okay. And you're trying to do all of that. And remember, you're not looking for perfection. You're looking to get in. There's a big difference because newer traders, they spend all their time trying to figure out what to do. But somebody, a professional trader already knows. Okay. Like you could talk with an investor 3 weeks ago and tell them what you're going to do. So you're not like trying to figure it out. Like, what do I do next? What do I do next? You're just getting in all the time. Okay. Buy it, jam the stop. 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 Okay. This one gets knocked out. Buy it. Okay. And you're just like green, 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 red. Buy it. Right. And you're just managing all these stops. Move the stop, 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 whatever. And you're not trying to figure things out. You're executing. There's a big difference. Okay. Big difference. Okay. So now it's more like I'm in at 16 and change. Where is this going? Where is this going? Do you think I can take this up to 23? How many people think I can get 500 pips on that trade? Or is this the end? Well, it could be the end, actually. Because I wouldn't be shocked if it did this first. But this would be the price, right? But if I could get 500 pips, then here's what you want to do. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, up, 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 and you have 62 trades. Each with a piece of the 500. 500, 499, 482, 461, right? 433. Okay. So there's lots and lots of little trades, all individually managed. But the thing is, if that is your strategy, you're taking it back to the top. Oops. Then every single day, you're just looking for a buy. Every market open. So like when I come to the charts for Asia, I'm like, will I get a dip to buy? 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 If it was London open, can I buy a dip? Can I buy a dip? If I'm in New York, can I buy a dip? Can I buy a dip? Can I buy a dip? Can a brother buy a dip? Right? Oh, can a brother buy a dip? Right? That's all. That's it. I want to buy a dip. Can I get a dip? Right? Hallelujah. Darko says, I think maybe one more down and all the way up. Yeah, yep, totally. Okay? I'll be there for that. These 5 words, I swear to you. When I trade, I want to be the USD for you. A profit I lost for you. Anyways. Okay. All right, so yeah, so Theta says going to take it down, knock everybody out. Okay, so I know where that's going to occur. If it doesn't happen now, I don't think we're susceptible for it this week. So I'm sort of at zero sum here. Like it's gonna, right? It's either going to do that or it's going to do that. But see, I already know all of this, right? This is why we do technical analysis. What is technical analysis tell us? This is where a bear would sell. Okay? And this is where a bear would sell. They didn't take the first one. They took the second one. So this is their last chance. So if it does this, gone. Words can't say what stops can do. I will trade for you. Profit and loss for you. Scalp and swing for you. Central banking reports for you. I'll trade for you. Yeah. Okay. And of course, from a bull, this is just as good. So, and my stop's here, right? So, I think it was Theta said, Theta's going to sell at 1750 and take it down to 16. Good. And if I get stopped out, it'll enter the trade as a sell order to offset my long order, and that's what a stop is, and then that would cascade lower. And that makes sense because you got this and you got this and you got this. You have to remember I'm not trading technical analysis, not from a strategy point of view. Tactically, I would do this all day, every day, tactically. Okay? But you got to remember the consensus is here and I'm here because I have alpha. You can't be trading this part and say you have alpha. No, you're trading the beta. You're trading the market, the consensus. Everybody sees that this is down, and this is your standard operating procedure sell. This is boring. It's so obviously a sell. What I'm trying to incorporate is a little bit of timing to say, well, you might think that, and it is clearly a sell. Oh my gosh. If you're a bear and you don't sell that, you don't know what's going on. But I'm not a bear. Okay. So if I get lucky here, it just does that. And now, okay, now bears are entering the market and they're putting their stops really close. So it goes, okay? And then I'll be buying this next week. Okay. Do you think you'll have a big risk out before? No. See, I already explained my theory with Jackson Hole yesterday, and I got enough information. I'm done. Jackson Hole's done in my book. It's over. I already understand. Okay. Okay. So JK says, hey, on the 4 hour, it's made a lower high. I see everything you see, and I totally agree with you, except I'm long, and I think I'm going to make money. Now, would I do this in any other context? Probably not. But it shows you my conviction for my analysis. It might make me look like an arrogant prick, but I'm not. I've just done the work, okay? And I'm ready for this. But if it drops back below, I get it. I get it. I got it. Okay? I got it. And I just got to set it all up again. It's part of the job. Okay? It's just part of the job, man. Okay? The trick is to be wrong and not lose a lot of money. Therefore, when you're right, you'll do better than when you're wrong. Muhammad says, so you bought because of the fundamental, not technical. It's a combination. Okay? This being the third week, I know somewhere in this week I'm going to be a buyer. So where would I buy? Well, I would buy in this zone, or I would buy in this zone. Those are two factual places. There's no other scenario for me. I mean, maybe this double bottom, but whatever. Let's not try to get into that. Maybe. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Okay. In fact, I'll put that. Let me redraw this. Okay, this is a good zone. This is a good zone. And then this being the confluence of monthly and weekly. Okay, great. Good, because this is a double exit. And I may have explained that somewhere else. So I have this as a choice. Down, 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 buy, and expect this. Okay. The next one is double bottom, and I prefer hammocks. Okay. And the other one is this one. And I swear in the swing trading group, we did talk about hammock and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, those are my three choices for the third week. Okay. Cool. So number one, did I get a reversal pattern? Not on this time frame. If I did, it would be in here on a smaller time frame. So maybe, but probably not. Now, how about this one? Well, this did double bottom, but it didn't give me the 1, 2, 3. Okay. So again, probably not. But maybe. This is a definite maybe. Okay. Now, what about this one? Double bottom, higher, high, higher, low. Okay. It was a chance. Now, I still believe there are bears here. Okay. And this is why I prepared you guys many, many weeks ago. Don't lose conviction and confidence if it does come all the way down. There are many years where it does that. Cool. Okay. So, in the moment, momentum has been this way. But my strategy is momentum will shift. And I'm using technical analysis to confirm the shift. Okay. You understand that? Seasonality, I'm ahead of the curve. I can tell you, oh, in so many weeks, this is what I'm going to do. Well, I'm in one of those periods right now. So I look at the charts and I say, oh, it's bearish. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bearish. I'm a bull, but it's bearish. So how do I enter? As carefully as I possibly can. Okay? Right. And theta's like, but it's still technically bearish. Yeah. Yeah. That's why, technical analysis lags. Most of the time it lags. Okay. Yeah. Now, when this turns really bullish, it'll be easier. Okay. So that is a counter trend. In this case, yes. Anytime you're trading in an exit zone, you are counter trend trading. It's true. Look, guys, you know by definition, this is where bears leave the market. So I can counter trend as a bull, pushing the bears out. The ones that didn't get out where they were supposed to, which are here, that's the smart bears. Now I'm hunting the sick, the lazy, and the weak that haven't exited because they don't know yet. They don't understand. They don't realize the future. And the future is, I'm going to force them out of all of their trades and make money. And then I'm going to compound by building positions. Cool. Sweet. Sweet. Nice. Okay. Hella lucky though right? Think about it this way, guys. Isn't it hella lucky to buy the monthly S2 the third week of August, when I told you I was going to do that in January and February? That in the third week of August, I'm going to look to buy the euro dollar. How many people can confirm that? At that time, in January and February, I just knew the third week, and I knew I was a buyer, but I didn't know under what technical consequences. So here we are, the third week, and I bought it at the monthly S2. Weekly M2. Like, holy schnicker schnocker. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely, totally ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. But it happened. It happened. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable coincidence. And right now, I understand where I'm threatened. Okay? I'm threatened here and I'm threatened here. But maybe, just maybe, this is our first move. We're here, and then maybe next week, maybe, again, I think it's still a little too early, but we start a move like this. And then I can say, ha 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 ha, look, I'm up 200 pips now. Will I get the 500? Woo! Right? So I'm trying to take it to the pivot. I'm trying to take it across the finish line, Chand. My exit is really based on time. Okay? If you don't understand that, join FX Bootcamp. Turn your trading around. Get to the next level. Cash, is my issue with your dollar is the hawkish tilt towards USD favors euro. Yeah, it does. Except that may be over. That's the thing, Cash. Okay, that may be over now. The one thing that is interesting is there was a recent 10-year T-note auction, and it had the highest level of international buyers in history. Talk about a carry trade. So we're going to have to pay attention what's happening there. Okay? But what the report doesn't tell you is, was it the largest purchase by foreigners of the 10-year note because there isn't any 5-year note, right? There's no 5-year notes. There's no 1-year bills. See, there's a shortage on the low end of the yield curve. So maybe a lot of these guys are just buying 10 years because there's nothing else to buy. Well, that would be a whole different thing. Okay. But am I trying to get it to the pivot point? Nope. I'm bigger than that. Well, theta, the issue is, A, why did they buy it and why now? Okay. What I think is going to happen over the next 2 years is that the U.S. stock market continues to go up, but because rates are going up and we still have some constraints in the market, it'll take years to get through some of these constraints, that the stock market's going to go up 10% a year instead of 20% a year, minus some inflation, and all of a sudden, you'll see there'll be some adjustments made. So if the stock market is going up, that's good, okay? But for those that need to produce more than that, they're going to realize the U.S. stock market is very, very expensive. It's very, very expensive now. And it'll continue to get more expensive. It'll get 10% more expensive every year. But if you're buying like momentum stocks, like if you're buying Apple and Google and stuff, well, they're going to be even more than that. Maybe, right? Going up 20% a year. So at some point, there's just a lot of investors that just cannot invest in the U.S. market. And the bond market will be falling. So nobody really wants to buy something that's losing value. And then you also don't want to pay too much for assets. So I think what will happen is the flows will reverse from where they were last week, and they'll reverse to like investing in Malaysia in the Malaysian stock market will give you better valuations and better growth opportunities. Investing into South Africa will give you better valuations and better growth opportunities. Germany might be overvalued, but maybe Italy will be better. Okay. Maybe China, this big dip. Did you guys see those ADR stocks, dude? They're up 10, 15% already. I asked you, are you buying them? So maybe you get back into China. Maybe you buy Vietnam. So what'll happen is investors will start spreading the money from, like right now, the United States has been the only game in town. As we get back to business as usual, living with COVID, right? There's no post-COVID. We're just with COVID now. As we go back to more and more of normality, the money will flow away from the United States because it's already overbought. We already have massive growth, right? All the easy money is gone. All the low-hanging fruit is gone. It's just you versus 800-pound gorillas, which you don't want to get involved with. So you're going to, right? Americans are going to start looking to put their money overseas, and overseas investors will bring their money home. So one of the things that happened during the summer, and I told you this, by the way, investors are going to leave the market. Well, turns out what we found out is the big investors are American investors. So they exited foreign investments and brought the money back to the United States. So you saw like the stock market didn't come down, but everyone else's, right? The American stock market didn't come down, but everyone else's stock market came down. And guess what's going to happen now? The U.S. stock market's still not going to come down, but all foreign stock markets are going to go back up. Why? Americans are going to buy everything back. Dollar's going to get weak. Boom. Oil's going to go to 100. Gold is going to go to 2,000. We're going to worry about inflation. Interest rates are going to go up. Meanwhile, pessimists are going to sit around doing whatever. I don't know. You're supposed to be making money. So stop looking backwards. Nobody cares. Start looking forward. What's your position? What's your point of view? I've been looking everywhere, and I've been looking for you. You don't want my love. You need satisfaction. Ooh, yeah. Wait, that's Guns N' Roses. Wait, I got off track. So, you need to take a stand. You need to have a focus. You need to have alpha. You need to have an opinion. And like I said, if you can't sit down and have dinner with an investor and spit out a point of view, then you're not only not going to be successful as a professional investor, but what it also means is you don't know how to be an amateur investor either, because you don't have a point of view. So you'll swing both ways like a broken gate. You'll always be a little early or a little late, and you'll always be a little bit confused. And this is where you get blindsided, where, right, you don't know where bulls and bears are buying because you don't have a stake in the game. You don't know what team you're on. Massive confusion. There's no way you feel confident under those circumstances, right? So you need to pick the team and then set up trade plans like that. And then you can say, well, this is where I would buy, but this is where the other team would sell. And I got to manage these risks. Cool. So Mohammed says, well, what if foreigners see this as the best investment in place? Well, that would be a very risk-off scenario. Because right now, what, you think buying Apple at 72 times earnings is the best investment you can make on the planet? Well, that might be troublesome. Because that means like if you're an Indonesian billionaire, maybe Indonesia is going into another lockdown. Maybe India is going into another lockdown. Okay? But when everything is right as rain, there's got to be something better than buying Apple at 72 times earnings. It'll take 72 years of profits to equate the valuation. Think of that. So you're like, you know what? I can buy a stock cheaper in Indonesia that'll grow at 12% a year based on actual real revenue, not giant speculation and gambling, right? So there's always going to be something better. And we cover this in the macroeconomics course where there's mature growth and then there's catch-up growth. And what I'm saying is getting an economy like the United States is fully productive. Yes, we'll get some more productivity as we add more workers, but this is going to, like if you do the physics of it, the half-life of the employment is going to start catching up. So it'll take 3-4 years for us to get back to full employment. Meanwhile, other countries that have been skipped over because of COVID, their economies have been pushed down. The prices of those stocks are really been pushed down. All the money has left those economies. So and that was good for them in the sense that their currencies have weakened. But now think of it from an investor point of view. If I decide to invest into, India, I know the Reserve Bank of India has lowered the value of the Indian rupee. Now, I haven't checked it recently, but just go with me on this idea. So the rupee I can buy for cheap. Meanwhile, the stock market may have been compressed because of COVID-19 lockdowns. Okay? But once life is normal in India, I know what to expect from the Indian economy. But I also understand that India needs a lot of infrastructure and other types of investment, and they have some pretty great companies there. Some companies might be in telecommunications. Some might be in, I talked to the senior vice president of SoftBank who invested into the Uber of India. What is it? Olay, right? So he did Olay, and there's opportunities there. He's also building solar farms in India, and that could be great infrastructure that way. There's companies that are building airports and train stations all around India. Maybe there's some good, money to be put there. But what I'm saying is those companies might be cheap. And by cheap, I mean, if Apple's trading at 72 times revenue, right? And an Indian company is at 17 times revenue, dollar for dollar, the one in India is cheap, and the rupee is cheap relative to historic norms. And over the next 5 to 10 years, India is probably going to be booming again, booming. So I'm like, dude, you buy it now. And what happens is I move money from the United States of America to India. Instead of investing into Indiana, I invest into India. Okay? Where am I going to get my best growth? Well, India might grow at, the whole country might grow at 18%. Where, like I said, I think moving forward the next 5 years, the stock market's going to grow at 8 to 10% in the United States. Hey, that ain't bad, but that's just barely enough. But that's at the historic norm. Okay? And I also think Americans are going to start spending that money they got for free from the American government, and they're going to invest that money overseas by buying junk from Walmart. And that will also, the money will flow, whether it's consumption money flowing over the border outside the United States, and that's a good sign, or investment flow over the border, which is also a good thing. I'm going to try to track that money. Okay? Hey, will you please click the thumbs up button? And I will see you tomorrow. Please click the thumbs up button, huh? Please, come on. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.